In this series of short videos entitled Religion is the Great Hijacker, I'm hoping to challenge you to think about human experience in a slightly different way from normal. I'm doing it for three reasons. Firstly, I've come to the conclusion that on the one hand religious experiences are far less religious than atheists normally argue, and on the other that non-religious experiences are far more religious than religious people want to accept. Secondly, I've noticed an inaccurate and inconsistent polarisation of atheism and religion. This is largely because of an erroneous equation of scientific method with atheist thought. The latter equation is at best spurious, and at worst actually self-defeating for the very cause of good old common sense, for which atheists believe they are working. Thirdly, I've become sickened by the fact that religion has hijacked everything of value in humanity. It's done this throughout time. It continues to do so to the present day, and, unless we stop it in its track, it will continue to adapt itself over the following centuries so that its clerics can maintain their positions of privilege and control over the more vulnerable members of our species. Now, both sides of the religious-atheist debate have maintained that religion is the realm of faith, revelation, forgiveness, spirituality, etc., and that atheism, often identified with science, is restricted to the realm of tangible facts and provable falsifiable hypotheses, an image of an arid wasteland that appears so unloving and cold to religious believers, a world in which no allowance is made for and no value given to the more abstract and often profound personal human experiences that we all have, things like a sense of wonder, a feeling of divine revelation, a desire to thank God for the beauty in nature, that glorious feeling of being loved by someone and of loving that someone back, that feeling of the hairs sticking up on the back of your neck when you hear a particular piece of music, see a particular painting, and the times when you can't keep tears of joy or sadness from your eyes when watching a beautifully produced movie, or when you see the joy or suffering in a fellow creature, another person, or an injured pet. This situation has worked to the benefit of the cynically religious and dogmatic clerics, who have been able to claim ownership of human experiences that they know full well do not belong to religion, and that have been hijacked from humanity at large. All the while, the non-religious, non-dogmatic have, in my opinion, unwittingly and rather illogically contented themselves with permitting religion and dogma to claim illegitimate possession of many human experiences that I will argue are core realities in every single person's life experience, regardless of whether or not they are religious. As I write this, it's hitting me more and more just how outrageous it is to think that most religious and non-religious people are continually under the mistaken impression that the other side, the alien human species that don't agree with them, do not have the sensibilities that each of them consider profound and essential to their own identity. Atheist and religious people are the same species of human. We all have pretty much identical physical, mental, emotional and spiritual needs and experiences, regardless of what terms we use to describe them. That's why I'm going to move away from the polarity between an atheist and a religious person. It's simply a crazy division, and I want to blow it apart so that human ownership of human experience can be re-established. Whether you would define yourself as religious, or as an atheist, or as something in between, I hope you'll spare the time to wander along with me during this short series of videos that will be released over the coming days. And I will not be trying to make atheism more attractive to religious people. I want to claim back things to which religion has never had any rightful claim. I'm going to be asking for justice, that's all. And as a result of doing this, in a number of different and perhaps surprising areas of so-called religious experience, I hope to provide you with a deeper understanding of the unity between the so-called religious and non-religious experiences. It doesn't help to try and defeat religious people's arguments in a way that leaves the atheist feeling self-satisfied and the religious person either wounded and defending their corner, or arrogantly holding on to some otherworldly truth or beauty of which the myopic atheists are simply ignorant, and nor vice versa. I simply don't see the point in doing that. Remember that I was a devout Methodist, and then a fervent, born-again evangelical Christian, and I know what it's like to be impenetrable to reason. I've been on both sides of this so-called believer-atheist divide. No, what I'm talking about is putting arguments forth to people of religious faith that will genuinely dissolve their certainty in their own dogmas. Arguments that will cause them to listen and think, rather than merely defend themselves, stick their fingers in their ears and sing hymns, while you, in the guise of the tempting devil, speak what you think is reason until you go red in the face. And as a result, and in no way as an afterthought, I want to help non-religious, non-dogmatic people to reclaim for themselves, their families and their societies, the rightful ownership of those precious human vehicles of experience and expression that have been for too long hijacked by religion. And my question to you is this: can you calm your raging religious or atheist soul for just long enough to sit beside me in my virtual pursuit vehicle as I try to head off the hijackers?